Captain, this fuel switch has two-step safety lock. And correct me if I'm wrong anywhere. If it failed twice, that too in London, are we looking at a design vulnerability rather than an isolated event? I mean, of course, this does invoke the tragic memories of AI 171, but how do you read this now? This is so dangerous. I mean, any other Boeing 787 could be a flying casket at the moment. I think you'll have to unmute yourself, Captain.
That's right, sir.
Yeah.
A very important question has been raised, and I must comment on the amount of research has been done by News9 team. However, we must understand the difference for the sake of the viewers between a commanded position and an uncommanded position vis-a-vis a manual outcome and an automatic outcome. Like my senior Captain Randhawa has very categorically mentioned that how this particular switch, you know, is into operation. The pilots who are trained professionals are being trained to use this switch time and again. They have repeated trainings. However, we must understand that we are talking about three bodies here. We're talking about the operator, we're talking about the regulator, or also we're talking about the manufacturer. Having said that, this particular instance involves two jurisdictions. One of a foreign land, which is United Kingdom right now, where this particular incident has happened. Secondly, the Indian DGCA. Now, when this particular matter gets involved in this particular instance, wherein that you have two particular jurisdictions, it is very, very essential that the government of India, the airline per se, must be on the same page. They must have a joint statement in this regard, wherein the sentiments of the public are kept at large and the safety should not be jeopardized in this particular case.
If a fuel switch that is designed not to move and then moves on its own, how alarming is that for the pilot? Let it be whatever stakeholder you're talking about, whether it's the operator, whether it's the regulator, whether it's the passenger. How alarming is that really?
It is something which is quite horrific for
Yeah.
the pilot sitting inside the cockpit. However, I must say it on record that pilots are very trained individuals. They have a protocol, they follow their SOPs. And in this particular case, we must take it on face value that the pilot in command has filed a report, which is in black and white. And it is now the duty of the regulators and the manufacturer to advise and aid the particular airline and come out with a clean safety record for a Boeing 787, because this is a global phenomena. Like Captain Randhawa very rightly mentioned, this affects the entire world
You know,
in terms of the
it just makes
787
one
aircraft.
question, Captain Dhalla, that after the 2025 AI 171 crash, inspections were carried out, and today we see a repeat incident of sorts. Were those checks too superficial? That's what people are asking.
You see, aviation is a very dynamic industry wherein things are not static. You will have these instances time and again. Having said that, something which is to do with safety should not be taken so lightly by the regulator or the operator, or for that matter, the manufacturer. There should be proper fact finding. And I'm sure the government of India would
All right.
look into it deeply.